I am here to interview Lee Foster to have a quick chat about his song.
What inspired you to do Mike tonight?
I was born in 1981, so bands like Oasis, Pulp were pretty influential to me, and I think I was trying to go for that kind of Britpop sound with it. And lyrically, it's basically about one-night stands. It's a girl who has all these ideals of what she wants in a guy. You know, he's got to drive, he's got to work, he's got to bring X amount of money in, he's got to be 6'3", he's got to be this, that and the other. And I'm singing as a guy who doesn't fit her criteria to be a boyfriend. But she's drunk, she's on her own, and she's thinking, oh, tonight, he'll do for tonight, but I don't want to be with him. That kind of mentality, which happens a lot with men, with girls, and with girls with men. You know, there's a lot of guys that you could find who are willing to sleep with a girl, but they don't want to get with her. And same applies for girls. And I wrote a whole song about it.
What inspired you to do Sainsburys Cafe Boy?
It's autobiographical, is that one? That's a very big word, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's about me. It's about what the Sainsburys Cafe staff probably think about me when they see me going in. They're like, oh my god, here he is again. You know, out of 11 days, he's here at least 10. It is what it is. The lyrics kind of tell the story himself. I'm always in that cafe. I don't like cooking. I used to go in because I had no internet at home. I'd be using the Wi-Fi. Self-explanatory. Not many people like that song. I remember I showed it to a friend of mine, and he really didn't like it. He took the piss out of it and said it's one of the worst things you've ever done. But I've still got a soft spot for it because it's such a personal song. That means a lot to me.
What inspired you to do In My Dreams?
I wrote that one after a night out. I'd been to a friend's birthday party and had a good night, you know, a few beers, a lot of music playing. And I got home and that idea was just kind of playing in my head, you know. I picked my guitar up and just came up with it pretty much on the spot. It wrote itself, and it was inspired by a girl that were actually out at the party as well. She was a few tables down. I didn't even speak to her, but I kept looking at her, she was looking at me, but I didn't have the balls to say anything to her. I thought she'd possibly out of my league, you know, so I just didn't do anything, and I felt like a bit of a pussy, but hey, made me come up with a song, so all's well that ends well.
What inspired you to do She's the Girl I Love?
I wrote that one back in 2015 when I was going through a pretty bad time, and then just out of the blue, out of nowhere, an ex-girlfriend of mine started getting in touch with me on Facebook, and then we ended up swapping numbers, having a few conversations, and I realised that I still liked her, you know. And then I ended up going home one day after talking to her on the phone for an hour or so and just coming up with that song really easily. I wrote it and performed it within about 3 hours.
What inspired you to write Vietnam Daydream?
Vietnam Daydream is one of the deep songs that I've written. There aren't too many of them. Most of my songs are pretty fun. But with that one, I wrote it just after Devils and Dust, the Bruce Springsteen album came out. I ended up using the music from Devils and Dust, looping the first 7 seconds of it over and over again. And then I came up with this story about a guy, an ex-serviceman in Vietnam who's seen a lot of dark things, done a lot of dark things, crossed the line, and he ends up getting post-traumatic stress after it, and one of his friends ends up killing himself. And I thought that was very appropriate that when I did the 22 push-up challenge that everyone was doing on Facebook last year, that when I stuck the videos together, a few of them, the clips, some of the highlights, I thought that would be a perfect song to use because it's about an ex-serviceman who kills himself, and that was done to raise awareness to the 22 ex-servicemen who kill themselves because of post-traumatic stress in the US alone every day.
Right. What influenced you to write Andy Bell and Lenny McLean?
It's about an incompatible relationship, you know, two people that are not a good match. And I thought of Andy Bell, like the lead singer from Erasure, and Lenny McLean, the governor, and I thought them two have got nothing in common, you know. On first thought, you know, you look at them and you think they've got nothing in common.
Yeah.
For all I know, they do. You know, they might have both met and they get on like a house on fire. They both like watching Coronation Street or something. But I just used it, and it's from personal experience. It was a bad relationship that I was in, and I couldn't relax and be myself with her. I felt on edge all the time, and that's how it is. Some people are just not meant to be together. It's a short song, short and simple. We're both decent people, but us two as a team does not work. You know, we both want to be the boss. She wants to be the boss. I want to be the boss. We can both be the boss, but not with each other.
What influenced you to write Ring the Bell?
You just fucking flying the thing at me. I haven't even done anything. Done nothing. Just been a waste of time. Do it now.
What influenced you to write Ring the Bell?
Ring the Bell is just like a passive song, which, you know me, in general I'm not the most passive guy on the planet, you know. But it seems with music, I tend to be, you know, it's more of an emotional thing. You got a guitar, you're like in touch with something which is more delicate. I don't write nasty songs very often, and they're more nice. Ring the Bell is basically a song about before you go to bed, make everything go, because you don't know how many tomorrows you got.
What made you write Issues Require Tissues?
Issues that require tissues.
Yes.
It's like self-explanatory. It's about a young lad who's got problems with masturbation, basically. It's the gist of it.
That it then?
It's about all this doing, isn't it?
What influenced you to write Stay With Me?
When I was writing songs with a one-string guitar back in them days, and I came up with that melody, and I felt I finally got something good. I'd been jamming around for about 3 or 4 days, and that felt like a good one. I was singing really high at the time, and then I wrote the words, and they were pretty genuine. So I think out of all the songs I did with one string, that is the best one. Pretty open, pretty honest. It's about a girl who's in love with a guy and wants him to stay with her, and she's doing everything to try and make him stay. You know, she's making herself vulnerable to him, she's giving everything to him, she's giving her body, her money, everything, her home. It's a bit desperate, you could think, but it's pretty raw, it's pretty real. One of the moments where you just think, oh, this is pretty nice, man. When a girl likes you and she wants you and she wants you to stay with her. It's nice, and it's about love.
Okay.
Influenced you to write Lair?
Lair was just like a simple pop song. I think it's got a few good lines in it about when you get hit by something real, you lose control of the steering wheel, which I think were pretty true. You know, when you meet someone and you really like them, you're just not in control. And I thought that line basically sums up the whole song. You're not in control anymore. This bird, you want to see her whether you like it or not, and she wants to see you whether she likes it or not, and that's kind of what it's about. You're meeting a good girl, you want to take her back home, drag her back home to your nerd lair.
What influenced you to write Wish You Were Here?
Nothing majorly, if I'm honest with you. It's nothing majorly personal. It's just about a guy whose girl's leaving him and he wishes she were here. I only wrote the first verse myself, and then I couldn't think of anything else, so I passed it to Joe Rhodes, and then she wrote that second verse about smashing the place up and all that stuff. I wouldn't write anything like that because that's not how I'm going to act. And then my mate David Tuff wrote the other verse, the third verse, about killing himself. I wrote the last part about smoking 1,000 cigarettes and stuff as well, because in them days that's what we're doing. I'm only putting this song in mainly because of the video. It's got my granddad in it, which is pretty important. It's got my other family members in it. My mum makes an appearance, my auntie makes an appearance, and I think it's one of the better videos that I've done. That's why it's here. It's not necessarily the best song, but out of all the videos I've done, that's the one that I put the most effort into. It took a lot of time to do that. I was editing it for probably about 2 weeks or something, on and off.
Okay.
So check it out.